Hi everyone, so thanks very much for joining us again for an alumni chat. Today I'm joined with an alumna from our South Africa Social and Political Transformation Program. Annie, do you want to take a moment to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Annie Wyman. I'm a senior at DePauw University in Greencastle, Indiana. I studied abroad in the Social Political Transformation group in spring of 2016. And yeah, now I'm back at school.
And what's your major there at DePauw?
I'm a political science major and an economics minor.
All right, well, thank you very much. I know senior year can be very busy, so I won't take too much of your time this afternoon. But I wanted to start with, there are lots of opportunities out there to study abroad. So what made you choose South Africa and the South Africa Social and Political Transformation Program offered by SIT in particular?
I was immediately drawn to South Africa because of the rich history, especially the political and economic history. Being a country fresh out of apartheid and ever-changing law and policy right there, right now. I also was interested because it's an English-speaking country. However, I did still have the opportunity to learn a different language, but the instruction language was still in English. I was also really interested in the homestay family aspect. I was a little bit nervous about the homestay families, but I knew that SIT had a really strong relationship with each family that our program had set up for us, and so that immediately made me feel a lot better about the homestay program, and was definitely a very defining piece of my SIT experience. And also the ISP period, the Independent Study Project, really drew me to this program because I'm involved in a program at my school where a practicum or independent study project is part of my study, and so this was a really fun and pretty incredible way to get that experience and complete that ISP project.
That sounds like you had a whole wide breadth of experiences there, including the ISP. So I want to ask you to hone in a little bit, and if you had to choose one of the aspects you mentioned, or one that you may not have mentioned about your SIT semester abroad in Durban, what would be your favorite aspect of it?
I would say I think the homestay experience was probably one of my favorite things. What we were learning in the classroom through our different lectures, and whether it was our Zulu class or learning about political transformation or the education system, these were then conversations I was having at home with my families and my brothers and sisters. I really enjoyed that. It was challenging at times because I would want to stay up late and have conversations with my sister. But I really did, I still have connections with these families. I was even talking to one of my homestay sisters earlier today, reflecting on my experience. I'm still working with my ISP here at my university this semester. And so I've just been thinking about my experience as a whole and kind of talking with the people I met in South Africa, which was really exciting. But the homestay experience definitely is what I really feel like defined my experience there. I was able to learn about South African culture in a totally different way. The opportunity that we had to stay with 3 different families, I thought was incredible because that's more people to learn from, more people to gain experience talking to, and different types of families teaches you an incredible amount about South African culture that I don't think other students necessarily have an opportunity to do outside of an SIT program.
Well, you answered about my next 4 questions, all in that question. So we're done. No. Now, I just wanted you to delve a little bit deeper into what you did for your ISP and what the topic was. You said you're continuing to use it a bit at DePauw there.
Mm-hmm. So my ISP focused on the Durban beachfront renovation in 2010 and how the infrastructural redevelopments to the beachfront has aided in social and racial integration on the beachfront, but also elsewhere. And so my findings were that the infrastructural redevelopments, which was spurred by the 2010 FIFA World Cup in Durban, or one of the sites was in Durban, definitely helped push that along. But the beachfront redevelopment has absolutely helped and added so much value to the Durban beachfront, and has aided in social, political, racial, religious integration on the beachfront. And what I'm doing at school now is I'm an environmental fellow at DePaul University, and I am presenting to a few different groups of people. I'm presenting to the entire school in terms of like a poster session where people are free to come and learn about the environmental fellows experience. I'm also presenting to just the environmental fellows, and then a group of professors about my ISP and what kind of environmental connections that has. And so to South Africa specifically, or just environmental issues. And so I'm connecting my ISP with my ISP topic to environmental justice and environmental legislation. So it's cool to see it follow through, because it was one of my favorite things I did, something I'm really proud of. But after presenting to my SIT comrades and then my professors there, I'm excited that I now have an opportunity to reflect that back in my home university and my friends and professors here.
And it sounds like it's something that will be affecting you for the rest of your academic career too.
Definitely. The ISP experience was something that I don't think most undergrad students have the opportunity to do. In independent research, but also of that caliber and like what our professors expected, let alone our advisors that we had available to us for the ISP period. My advisor for my ISP was Michael Sutcliffe, who is the former city manager of the eThekwini municipality, or like the greater Durban area. He was my go-to, he like hands-on person. We rode bikes up and down the beachfront, which was pretty cool and unique. And on this morning bike ride, he explained to me the history of what the beachfront used to look like 12 years ago, when apartheid rule still was very apparent, even though apartheid laws were abandoned at that point. The beach still was very reminiscent of apartheid rule and law. And so it was pretty cool to see from the man or the person who was in charge of redefining Durban after apartheid law had ended. Hearing his experience and his knowledge was like absolutely incredible, like firsthand knowledge of pretty much the foundation of what my ISP was about.
Yeah, Imran is connected to everybody in South Africa, it seems like. So, no, to change gears a little bit in regards to the questioning here, as you saw, our programs tend to be on the smaller side. We only cap them at 25, but very often they're smaller than that in order to keep a very intimate, personalized, experiential learning environment, which is great for the students that come, but it means a lot of people haven't heard of us. So how would you explain SIT study abroad in 2 or 3 sentences to somebody who hasn't heard of us?
It's definitely a family. It's unlike any study abroad experience, but I feel like it's the absolute proper way to study abroad. You're living with people in the culture, you're learning the language, you're speaking to actual South Africans or people of the country where you're studying, and the people in the program or your program directors care so much about you and so much about your learning experience that it was definitely one of the most life-changing semesters I've ever had. And it will stick with me forever, and I'm going back as soon as I can.
I feel the exact same way. I mean, South Africa bit me maybe 12 years ago now, and I've been back many times since, so I can totally understand what you mean. Now, as we're getting towards the end of the interview today, if you knew something before you applied to the program that you know now, what would that be? So if you could look back at the Annie Wyman of 2015 and say, hey, I know this about South Africa or the process, what would that be?
I would say that if you're really looking for a valuable or like a very real experience, not the kind of experience that you're just going to try to post pictures on Facebook or Instagram, or you're not trying to build your social media presence by going on an SIT program. You're learning a lot. You're being challenged. You're having very important and difficult conversations with your peers and your program directors, and it's a very meaningful, very real experience that I don't know if you'll ever have the opportunity to do otherwise, but this is the most real way you'll ever be able to live in a country, I feel like, or experience a culture and learn from it, and I don't know, be able to challenge yourself and forever hold with you from then on out.
Excellent. Well, as we've come to the end now, is there any last thing you'd like to say to whoever may be watching this, just to give them that last little push to submit their application?
Sure. I would just say that whether you pick South Africa or social and political transformation program, studying abroad was the best decision I've ever made. You think that you might be missing out something at your university or what have you, but this will be the best thing you could ever do for yourself, your education, being a citizen of the world. Studying abroad is like the best way you can learn about yourself as well as others, and trust me, I think you'll really enjoy it.
Well, thank you very much, Annie, for taking some time today. I'm very grateful, and do keep in touch because we always like to hear what our alumni have been up to.
Sure.
All right. You have a good day then.
Thanks, Ian.